My name is Erika and my pronouns are that bitch. I have been going to Fitprint for over 2 years. Crazy. So I grew up always a little fat girl, right? And like I feel like representation matters, and I didn't really see my body, and I thought, oh, like if I'm not skinny, I'm not strong. So I just kind of always thought of myself as like a not strong person, and I was just kind of mentally going through it. I was in a really rough place. A lot of things were changing in my life. So I feel like I was just everywhere and nowhere at once. I was also like 200 and, what was I? Like almost like 220. And last year I was like 230, but I was like super sad. So like I had lost weight, but just not the right way. So like I was just kind of stumbling, I would say. Yeah. I think I was at that point in my healing journey where I said, okay, how do I change the narrative and make it about me? And I thought to myself, well, people compliment me like, wow, like, you know, I love seeing you in the gym, or I love, you know, watching your journey. And I'm like, people are watching me. Like, I'm not even watching me. So I think that's when I was like, how can I start showing up for myself the way that everybody else started showing up for me? Food is not as hard as you think it is. I think that when you start to focus on what you're putting into your body versus how many calories you're putting into your body, like obviously calories are important because you want to reach that deficit, but when I started shifting the focus from like, okay, well, this has like less calories, let me do this, and focusing into, okay, well, what has more protein to get me to where I want to be? Because I think we lose ourselves in the whole calorie game, and we forget that what we're putting into our bodies is way more important than the amount of calories it holds. So if I'm eating something really protein heavy and it has maybe a few more calories than like, I don't know, something dense that's low calorie and like marketed for you to be healthy, but has like no protein and no nutritional value. I think I learned nutritional value versus versus calorie intake, and that is what made it so much easier. Like I started noticing the weight coming off, and I noticed that I started feeling stronger, because what I didn't realize is that you need protein to build muscle. And it sounds obvious, but in your head, when you're going through a weight loss journey, when you are a heavier person, your mind doesn't immediately go to muscle, it goes to fat. And if you focus on the muscle gaining portion, the fat just falls off easily. So.
Period.
Water break. I think community. Like for me, having a group of girls that I was with and knowing most of them, and also just seeing all the groups and seeing even the people that weren't in the challenge that showed up to the gym, seeing them root for you, hearing them applaud you, and just really taking ownership. Like I chose to be like the wise ninja of my group, and by chose I mean forced. But I think it was the coolest thing because I got to really see and motivate people, and that's when I realized like I'm really good at showing up for other people, but where I lacked in was showing up for myself. And I think it's very true that if your cup is not full, you cannot pour into other people. So being able to focus and really pay attention to the weights that I was doing, you know, the amount of times I was going to the gym, and not just showing up but being present, because life isn't about showing up, it's about being in the moment and being present in your life, because that's the only way that you can take accountability, is to be present with yourself. So doing that helped me really focus my mindset on, okay, like you went to the gym today, you did this today, you know, had 3 meals today, you're drinking your water today, and celebrating every little thing that I did made me feel better about myself and got me to a point where I was like, hey, my body's pretty cool and I can do some pretty cool things. You guys constantly reminded us that the journey is the destination. And really taking that home with me is, you know, doing 6 weeks of focus challenge really made me pay attention to what I was eating, what nutritional value I had, how much protein I was taking, how much water I was drinking, what kind of workouts I was doing. And it helped me set that that lifestyle, and making it a lifestyle versus just like a temporary thing. What is stopping you? That was something I asked myself a lot, because you even asked me, you're like, oh, are you gonna do it? And I was like, I don't know. It sounds scary in the beginning because nobody likes to take accountability for themselves 24/7. But when you show up for yourself and you are able to see the results, because going through the challenge, it shows you more than just like, oh, you know, the number on the scale is important, but it's not as important as you think it is. Because how much muscle did you put on? How much water weight are you holding? You know, how much fat have you lost? Having all those little things add up makes you feel good about yourself. Because even though I didn't hit the number goal that I had set for myself, I hit so many more goals that I didn't know I could have or reach because I just did it. Just do it. It's the easiest thing you'll do to say yes, and it is the hardest thing you'll find yourself doing if you don't show up for yourself. So, I mean, long-term wise, your whole life is ahead of you. Why not be fit? period. I get asked a lot how I did it. How did you lose 30 pounds? How did you do this? How did you do that? And it's like, I just showed up. And if you just show up and you put yourself into the hands of people you can trust, like, it is so important to find a community and trainers that cater to you and the goals that you set, because I feel like today's society is all about weight loss, but every single person has a different goal in mind. Like, my goal isn't weight loss. It is a big benefit of the things that I want to do. I definitely want to lose weight. But my goal is to be healthy. My goal is to have muscle. My goal is to feel strong, feel accomplished, and feel sure of myself. I hit those because I showed up and I went into the hands and I listened to the people that told me how to do things, what to do things, and pushed me when I couldn't show up for myself. Just do it. Just show up. Don't give yourself excuses. Don't give yourself reasons of, well, maybe I shouldn't. Just do it. And it sounds so crazy, like my Nike socks. Just do it. Like how they say, you'll never regret showing up to the gym, but you'll always regret not going. Just do it.